Elon Musk's new company, X.AI. And what's exciting is I found a way to piece a stake in this new project. Now, look around me. What you're seeing here with your own eyes is one of the first applications of AI in the real world. And that's because it's artificial intelligence that's driving this car. And Elon developed this long before anyone else even started talking about AI, let alone thinking about AI. It's a big reason why I recommended shares of Tesla in 2019 before it skyrocketed almost 2,500%. And now Elon just announced his version of ChatGPT called XAI. It's a new AI venture I believe will revolutionize the entire industry. And today I can show you how you can profit from this new venture with a simple trade that you can do right from your own brokerage account. I'm confident that anyone who gets in today will have a chance to make massive gains. Friends, we're almost there, so let me get out of the car and show you what's happening inside this AI facility, because I believe this will help trigger the biggest boom in history, giving you a chance to completely transform your financial future. I'm here outside a facility I believe will change the course of AI and make a lot of people rich in the process. Most people have no idea what's going on here because we're about 750 miles away from Silicon Valley. And this facility you see behind me doesn't belong to NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, or any other popular AI company you might have heard of. In fact, it doesn't belong to any of the world's big tech companies. It belongs to a company that's supplying Elon Musk with a key piece of AI technology. And when I say key piece, I mean without this technology, Elon Musk's new AI venture would not be possible. In fact, industry expert Peter Hambury said that this facility marks a big watershed moment for the whole industry. What's happening inside these walls is so important that our government has declared it a matter of national security. And Forbes says that this will define the future of AI. That's why legendary investors on Wall Street are pouring a ridiculous amount of money into the company behind this AI project. Billionaire Ken Griffin, the founder of the largest hedge fund in the world, Citadel, already took a stake. This is the man who made $16 billion in profits last year, the biggest annual windfall in the history of hedge funds. He's now betting big on this project. Famous billionaire Ken Fisher has poured more than $2 billion into this project. Jim Simons is another. He runs Renaissance Technologies, the best performing hedge fund in history. Had you invested $1,000 in his fund, it would have grown to an unbelievable $20 million. Just to give you an idea, that's 200 times better than Warren Buffett, who's considered by many the best investor in the world. And guess what Jim is doing with his money? He has put $294 million into the AI company that owns his facility, and the list goes on and on. Ray Dalio, the founder of the world's second largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates, billionaires and hedge fund manager Stanley Druckenmiller, and Stephen Cohen, another billionaire hedge fund manager and owner of the New York Mets. They've all invested in this AI project. Friends, these are the absolute kings of Wall Street. So ask yourself, why are they all betting billions of dollars on the company most people have never heard of? I believe they're doing it because they figured out this project will supply Elon Musk with a key piece of advanced AI technology. So this is a great way to profit from Elon Musk's new venture, XAI. Now, normally an investment like this would be off limits to everyday folks, but today you have a rare chance to take a stake in this project you see behind me. And you can do that right from your brokerage account. Friends, this is your chance to invest right alongside Elon Musk, a man who many consider the Thomas Edison of our generation. Love him or hate him, it's hard to argue that Elon is a genius. The fact is, his past ventures have changed the world and made a lot of people filthy rich. Just think about it. He revolutionized online processing payments when he founded PayPal in the late 90s. Those who got in on the ground floor of PayPal had a chance to turn a small stake into millions. One man, for example, turned $1,664 into $3.8 million in a year. Imagine if that happened to you. Elon also revolutionized space exploration with SpaceX, a company that makes rockets and spacecraft. anyone who got in on the ground floor had a chance to pocket a whopping 555,000% gain. That turns $1,000 into $5.5 million. Same thing with Tesla when he revolutionized the auto industry. Anyone who bought shares of Tesla at the IPO had a chance to pocket a gain of 30 to 988%. Do you see the pattern here? That's why I'm so excited about Elon's new X.AI venture. I believe he's going to revolutionize the AI industry just like he did in payment processing, space exploration, and autos. And you can come along for the ride with this little-known company I'm going to tell you about in the next 2 minutes. You can buy shares right from your brokerage account, and by doing so, you'll take a stake in this facility that you see behind me, and you're going to invest alongside all the legendary investors I just mentioned. But you're gonna have to act quickly. Elon Musk so far has been very secretive about his suppliers, but he publicly said, and I quote, they will share more information about this project over the next couple of weeks. So if he mentions the name of this supplier in a tweet or during a press conference, there's no telling how high shares can go. The cat will be out of the bag, and I'm afraid you will have missed your chance. So please pay close attention to what I'm about to reveal, because AI is about to change every aspect of your life, your work, your healthcare, your relationship with loved ones, even your retirement. You see, this facility will not only supply Elon, but also produce technology that will power the next wave of AI innovation. That's why I believe what happens inside this facility will impact all AI stocks. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, you name all of them. It will also determine who the big winners and big losers of AI are. There's no question this AI boom will mint countless millionaires, just like the internet did. But it will also trigger a wave of bankruptcies like we've never seen before. Companies that fail to adopt this new technology will simply go out of business. According to the consulting firm Accenture, failure to scale AI could put 75% of organizations out of business. So depending on how you act today, this could have a huge impact on your retirement. Because if you're holding the wrong stocks, you could end up losing all of your money. So today I'm going to tell you what stocks to avoid, and more importantly, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening in this facility behind me and how you can take a stake in it directly from your own brokerage account. And I'll explain why I believe this little-known company behind this facility is the #1 way to play the AI boom. Okay, first let me go inside and I will tell you the full story of everything that's going on behind this company. Like I said before, my name is Teeka Tiwari. When I was 20 years old, I became the youngest vice president at Shearson Lehman, which was one of the largest investment banking firms in the United States. After working on Wall Street across 3 separate decades and even running my own hedge fund, I left and joined one of the largest publishers of independent financial research in the world. Today, we publish our ideas to more than 1.3 million everyday folks just like yourself. As a former money manager who lived and profited from the computer revolution, the dot-com boom, and the crypto boom, I can tell you from personal experience that getting on the ground floor of a tech breakthrough, it's the quickest way to build wealth. I started covering artificial intelligence 8 years ago when most people thought it was just science fiction. Take a look at this. In December 2015, when no one was talking about AI, I sent this note to my readers and I predicted, in the same way that the computer defined the latter half of the 20th century, the 21st century will be defined by artificial intelligence. I also recommended shares of Nvidia and said, I've never found a company that possessed the ability to go up as much as Nvidia will. It's poised to become the next tech giant because of its pioneering work in the field of artificial intelligence. Earlier this year, Nvidia crossed the $1 trillion market cap, joining other big tech companies like Microsoft, Google, and Apple. It became a tech giant exactly like I predicted 8 years ago. Today, Nvidia is arguably the most popular stock in the world, and anyone who listened to me back then and bought shares when I first recommended it had a chance to make as much as 5,246%. That's enough to turn $10,000 into more than $500,000.
It's also more than 44 times better than the overall stock market. So NVIDIA is not just beating the market, it's crushing it. And it wasn't even my biggest tech winner. For example, back in 2003, I believe Steve Jobs would revolutionize electronic consumer devices. So when I was on Wall Street, I picked Apple for my private clients when it was trading under $1. Since then, shares of Apple have skyrocketed by as much as 51,426%, which turns $10,000 into more than 5.1 million. Back in 2016, I also predicted the rise of digital currencies and blockchain. Now, this is when most people thought digital currencies were a scam. I put my career on the line and publicly recommended Bitcoin and Ethereum. Take a look at what I wrote back then. I predict Americans are going to carve off a portion of their liquid assets and put them into cryptocurrencies as a form of insurance. They won't put much in at first, but as they see the price starts exploding higher, they will stampede into digital currencies like a herd of elephants bolting through a mouse hole. Most people ridiculed me at that time, and yet that's exactly what happened. And anyone who listened to me and invested just $10,000 had the chance to walk away with more than $1.47 million from that Bitcoin trade. That same month, I made another prediction that seemed even crazier. I wrote, if you missed out on the astronomical gains with Bitcoin, here's your second chance with Ethereum. No one outside of the tech world knows about it. It's still relatively unknown. When Ethereum goes mainstream, I think it'll go higher than Bitcoin. Again, that's exactly what happened. And anyone who listened to me and invested just $10,000, well, they had the chance to walk away with as much as $4.8 million from this Ethereum trade. Now, these are all mind-blowing gains, and they were only possible because my readers had a chance to get in on the ground floor of a breakthrough technology. So if you missed out on all those gains, I don't want you to worry, because you now have a second chance with Elon Musk's new AI venture. Look, at this point, everyone knows that AI will be the technology of this century, and it could be the biggest wealth creator in history. VC billionaire Mark Andreessen thinks AI is quite possibly the most important and best thing our civilization has ever created. This is coming from the legendary venture capitalists who got into Facebook, Twitter, Airbnb, and Coinbase before they all went public. Billionaire Mark Cuban said that the world's first trillionaires are going to come from somebody who masters AI. Warren Buffett has even put more than $175 billion in AI stocks. Think about how crazy that is. That's almost half of all his money. These are some of the best investors on the planet. They're all in because they know AI is a game changer. And now that Elon Musk just launched his own AI venture, you have a rare chance to invest in what just might be the single most important company in this entire AI gold rush. Friends, after months of research, I finally found a company that's supplying Elon with a key piece of technology. And I believe it's that company and its tech that's making this new AI project possible. I'm about to release details on this company. I'm confident anyone who gets in today will have a chance to make massive gains. But again, you'll need to act quickly. You see, now that Elon has publicly and officially launched his AI venture, he could announce at any moment that he has partnered with this company. His team could literally be preparing the press release as we speak. Once they make this announcement, it's going to be too late. Shares could double or more in minutes. And your opportunity, well, it's going to be gone forever. You don't want to miss this opportunity because this type of boom, it's very, very rare. The last time we saw something like this was in the mid-90s with the invention of the internet. In 1995, the first internet browsers came out, Netscape and Windows Explorer, giving everyone with a computer an easy way to surf the internet. That's when internet adoption started going through the roof, and the shares of the companies that were leading the internet revolution rocketed. For example, in the short years from 1995 to 2001, Microsoft jumped 899%. Chipmaker Qualcomm jumped 3,281%. And shares of computer maker Dell, well, they skyrocketed 4,794%. But it was not just the big companies. Smaller internet stocks also went bananas. with network testing company Viavi Solutions jumping as high as 15,473%. Shares of QLogic skyrocketed 18,290%, and Veritas Software jumped an incredible 19,230%. Now look, if you missed out on those gains, you now have a second chance with this AI boom, because history, it's repeating itself. This is 1995 all over again, and I'm not the only one saying it. Yahoo Finance says, if the dot-com boom is AI's analog, the boom is just beginning. Magazine says, AI could be as market-shaking as Microsoft Windows from 1995. And Dan Ives, managing director at Wedbush Securities, well, he says, this is something I call a 1995 moment, parallel with the internet. AI is the fourth industrial revolution. Look, 1995 was a fork in the road for investors. Those who got into the right internet plays, they got rich. Those who didn't, they either lost money or spent the next few decades trying to catch up. Friends, I believe you're now facing a similar fork in the road. Those who get into the right AI plays could make more money than they ever thought possible. Those who ignore this tech or get in the wrong plays could spend the next few decades trying to catch up, and they might never be able to retire. You see, just like internet browsers like Netscape and Explorer triggered the beginning of a massive adoption of the internet and a boom in internet stocks, ChatGPT has just triggered the beginning of a massive adoption of AI and a boom in AI stocks. You see, before ChatGPT, whenever I mentioned AI to people, their eyes would just glaze over because almost no one understood what AI was and what it could do. For most folks, it was like talking about time travel. They thought it was just science fiction, something that would never become a true reality. But ChatGPT changed all of that, just like the first internet browser did in '95. You see, ChatGPT gave everyone the ability to easily interact with AI right from their home computers. So now anyone can see with their own eyes that the AI is generating its own articles, its own answers, and its own ideas. And because of that, AI is absolutely exploding, just like the internet did in '95. But this time, there's one giant difference. AI is getting adopted 42 times faster than the internet. No one has ever seen anything like this before. AI is now the fastest adopted business technology in history. Just to give you an idea, it took Netflix 3.5 years to reach 1 million users. ChatGPT, 5 days. Think about how nuts that is. It's truly a gold rush, much bigger than what we saw with the internet in the mid-90s. That's why Bill Gates predicted that AI will change the world more and faster than his personal computing revolution ever did. And it's not just the speed of adoption. The technology itself is also getting better at a breakneck pace. According to researchers, AI's computational power is doubling every 6 to 10 months. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means that the gains from AI stocks could be even bigger, even faster than what we saw from the internet in the 1990s. That's why Thomas Newbert, an executive at Intel, says AI can be an even bigger opportunity than the internet boom of the late 90s. And the AI boom is already well underway. This year alone, shares of NVIDIA have jumped as high as 231%. Shares of C3.ai, well, they're up as much as 318%. Shares of Symbiotic, they've skyrocketed as high as 427%. Now remember, normally the stock market goes up 10% a year on average, but these AI stocks are already delivering multiples of that. I mean, looking at this last example, anyone who invested $10,000 in that play had the chance to walk away with more than $50,000 in just months. That's how fast things are moving. Now, maybe you're looking at these gains and thinking, is it too late to buy these AI stocks? Well, if you're only looking at these popular hyped up stocks, it might be too late for you to make massive gains. NVIDIA was cheap when I recommended it in 2015 before it jumped more than 5,000% higher. But it's not cheap anymore. But here's the good news. Just a few months ago, Elon launched his own AI project called xAI. This is a brand new project, and I found a company that's supplying Elon with a key piece of technology. If I had to guess, I'd say 99% of Americans probably don't even know this company exists. It's flying under the radar, which is why it has tremendous upside potential. And just I'm going to tell you how you can take a stake right from your brokerage account. But first, I want to give you 3 reasons why I believe this AI stock is the best way to play this boom. So here's reason number 1. It's a way to profit from Elon Musk's new AI venture. Now, as I mentioned before, Elon Musk, look, he's the genius of our generation. So you definitely want to be on his team. And here's why I say that. In 1998, he and his partners had this crazy idea. What if instead of sending checks and money orders via mail, people and businesses could send money to each other through the internet? Now remember, nobody was doing that at the time because digital payments, well, they weren't even a thing. So this was an insane idea, and yet Elon pulled it off with PayPal. Today, PayPal allows individuals and companies to get paid in more than 25 currencies in over 200 countries. It's the highest value digital payment platform in the world and has made its investors filthy rich. A few years after launching PayPal, Elon had another crazy idea: to launch an entirely new automaker that will compete with Ford, GM, Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, and all the auto giants that had been operating for decades. The odds of him pulling that off was so low that he later admitted that starting Tesla was idiocy squared. Today, in terms of market cap, well, Tesla is more valuable than all the next 10 automakers combined. No wonder it has made his investors so filthy rich. And if that wasn't enough, around the same time he launched Tesla, he had another crazy idea. Even though he had zero training in rocket science, he would begin building rockets to compete with NASA. Doesn't that sound nuts to you? Elon started reading textbooks and talking to industry insiders, and that's how he literally taught himself rocket science. After launching SpaceX, he admitted, creating a rocket company has to be one of the dumbest and hardest ways to make money. Nobody thought he'd make it. But today, SpaceX is the sole US provider for crewed missions to the International Space Station. It was also the first company ever to create a reusable rocket, a rocket that goes into orbit and returns back to Earth. Not even NASA was able to figure that out. Bottom line, SpaceX has completely revolutionized the space industry and made its investors filthy rich. I'm telling you all of this because I believe Elon Musk is about to do it all over again with his new AI venture. You see, nobody in the world has more real AI experience than Elon. For years, he's been working on AI to build self-driving Teslas. If you think about it, Elon basically developed a brain that can drive a car, which is a very complex endeavor. All that experience gives him a huge advantage against his competitors. As Elon said, I don't think there's anyone even close to Tesla on solving real-world AI. And it's not just Tesla. In 2011, Elon also became an early investor in DeepMind.